Hi, BookTube. It's Gina. I got a crazy little kitten driving me nuts today, playing in my piles of books that I've got ready for my video. Happy Tuesday. I am here to do a tag. So I love doing tags. I love it when people tag me. I love tagging people. I think it's such a fun way to learn more about particular booktubers, what they like, what they don't like, just hear a little bit of a different perspective about other people, and just gives me some help when I'm trying to think about what to record. Sometimes I have a dry spell in my head and I'm like, I want to make a video, but I don't quite know what to talk about. And so tags just help me to gather my thoughts and put things in order. So I'm going to do a tag today. I was tagged by Nikki at Red Dot Reads, whose channel, of course, I will link below. Nikki's wonderful. She's got a beautiful accent. I love the way she talks about books, and I think she's got a very cute little dog, and she does vlogs, which I'm trying to learn how to do. So everyone should check out Nikki's channel. It's wonderful. Of course, link down below. And this is the frustrating books tag. So it's got 10 prompts. Oh, and I'm gonna go ahead and tag people first, because if I wait till the end, I always forget who I wanna tag. I am going to tag Mrs. Thomas at Book Talks with Mrs. Thomas. I am going to tag Kim at The Paper Traveler. I am going to tag Kevvie at Say Kevvie. And I am going to tag Brandon's Bookshelf, Brandon. And I'm going to tag Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl. And of course, I will link all of those channels down below. They're all absolutely wonderful. And if you haven't already, I would highly recommend that you check them out. So let's get started with the frustrating book tag. Prompt number 1 is name a book you predicted would be 5 stars but wasn't. And for this, I'm going to go with A Great Deliverance by Elizabeth George. I think I already unhauled this book. I had it in a little paperback edition that I read, and it was fine. I enjoyed it. I've been hearing all of this about how literary Elizabeth George's mysteries are, and while I enjoyed it, I think I probably gave it somewhere right in the middle of the star ratings. It was not great. It was not bad. It's a little, I think it's a little bit dated. It's a long series now, and so this one came out many years ago, so I think it may have suffered a little bit from that. So I will continue on with the series, but it's not something that is at the top of my list, just given sort of what my experience was with the first one. Prompt number 2, what book had a great beginning but an ending that let you down? And for this one, I am going to go with The Kite Runner by, oh gosh, I forgot to write down who it was. I'll put the author's name. It's Khalid Hassani, I think, something like that. I'll put his name down below. So The Kite Runner was a book that I actually really enjoyed. It was difficult. It was a book, set in war-torn, gosh, it's been a few years now since I've read it. Was it Afghanistan? It might have been Afghanistan, or I don't remember. I think it was Afghanistan. I have a terrible memory. So back to The Kite Runner. Enjoyed the book for the most part. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I would have given it a thumbs up. However, the ending, I hated it so much that it dropped the book down to like a 1 star for me, because it was manipulative. I could tell the author was like, I just want to make people feel bad. And I felt very manipulated at the end. Now, I'm not a person who, when I describe a book to myself, says I didn't really like the choice the author made, because I think the author can make whatever choice they want, but they have to sell me on it, right? They have to convince me that this is something that the character would do. And what the character did at the end was so unbelievable to me that it led to a devastating trauma for a child, and I felt like it was just trying to manipulate you into feeling how bad things were, and I didn't appreciate it. So I'm gonna go with The Kite Runner for the bad ending. Prompt number 3, do you have a book with a pretty cover but an ugly spine? And for this one, I'm going to go with To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, who is so apparently famous now. I mean, that's really a beautiful cover that he doesn't even have to put the title of the book on the spine. Now, the spine, I would not say is ugly. I think it's actually pretty. It kind of flows naturally from the cover, but it just bugs me so much that they don't put the title of the actual book on the spine. It just, I mean, if you were a librarian, would that not drive you absolutely bonkers trying to find like a specific book and not having the title on the spine? It just annoys me. The other thing about this book that annoys me, and I do want to read it, I have not read it yet, is that it's got that really thin sort of newsprinty feeling paper, which I don't like. But I do want to read this book. I do love the sound of the premise, and it really is a beautiful cover. It's just, this is stupid. All right, prompt number 4. Do you have a book series that doesn't match? Oh, yes. Maybe some are paperback and some are hardcover, or maybe the cover designs were changed halfway through the series. Does it bother you? So I generally don't buy books in a way that lends itself to being bothered by this question, because it sort of implies that you are buying books, you know, you're buying one and then you're buying the next one in a series, or I just don't generally buy books that way. I buy used books. I buy kind of random series. I'm trying to collect some like old Rosamund Pilcher books here. So I've got some of these old copies of her little skinny romance novels, but I've also got them in the paperbacks. And so I don't, I'm not a completist. I mean, I would love to have all of the originals in these hardbacks, but it doesn't bother me having sort of a mishmash. I think I'm a mishmash kind of person. I've got some hardbacks, I've got some paperbacks. Now, if I were buying a book and I bought the first in the series and then the second in the series, and then they changed the series, or they changed the cover, or they changed the size, that would definitely bother me. I just don't generally buy books that way, so it hasn't been an issue for me. Prompt number 5, is there a book from your youth you can remember parts of but cannot remember the name of or find anywhere? And I can't think of anything off the top of my head on that one. Prompt number 7, have you ever recommended a book you love to someone and they started telling you everything they don't like about it? Does it bother you? In other words, do your feelings get hurt when someone doesn't love one of your favorite books? Not at all. I do sometimes, though, have the reverse problem where if I know somebody loves a book, I don't want to criticize it. I don't want to say bad things about it, because it's funny, I'm going to say it implies I don't like their taste, which it really doesn't, because I don't feel offended when somebody doesn't like a book I like. I know it's not something personal, but I like to I'm kind of a peacemaker. I'm kind of like, I don't want to say anything that might bother people. I know it's kind of weird. I don't do it very often, but every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I don't want to say anything bad about a book. Okay, prompt number 8. What is your worst experience loaning a book to someone? And I cannot even remember the last time I loaned a book to someone. If I did, I would just give it to them. I tend to not have people over that want to read the same books I read, so it just hasn't been anything that's come up. Okay, prompt number 9 is show me some of your impulse buys that you've never read. You know the ones you bought at midnight while online shopping, or when you were walking through a bookstore and the magic of all the books made you grab a few too many. And we can't forget all those books at such a great price that somehow made it into our shopping bags. And I'm going to add to this the YouTube made me do it books, because This is hilarious, you guys. I've talked about this before, but look at this stack of books. This is, I mean, these are beautiful, and these are little poetry books. It is Crow by Ted Hughes, and it's associated Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter, poetry. Emily Berry's Stranger Baby. Let Them Eat Chaos by Kate Tempest. Black Cat Bone by John Burnside. And Why God is a Woman by Nin Andrews. And let's just say I went through a phase. I thought I was going to read poetry. I might still read these, but honestly, I probably won't, just because maybe I need to get involved in Poetry Thursday and just make an effort to start reading through some of these. But I bought these. I went through a phase, and we'll see. We'll see if I ever get to them. I think it's kind of funny though. And prompt number 10, just to make you hate me a little bit more, how many unread books are on your shelves? And I have 3 of these, sort of, you can see if you can see, this is 2 of the shelves. See if I can put you up a little bit. I mean, these are like the tall shelves. I've got 6 of these tall shelves and two short shelves. And honestly, many of the books that I own are unread. I am building a library. I want to be able to look around and see books that I really want to read, that I haven't read, that if I get stranded in my house, I want cat hair. I want plenty of toilet paper, plenty of food, and a lot of books. So let's just say I survived the pandemic quite nicely, being at home, because I always had stuff to read. Plus, I actually have a library that lets me check out ebooks, which saved me. So I have hundreds. I have hundreds of books that are unread, and I love that. I have no desire to get down to a 0 TBR. I'm lucky that I have a spot where I can keep bookshelves. I can keep books that I haven't read. I've got some space. So it's definitely a perk to living in a home, be it a small home that is a house that I've been in for a long time. I'm not moving around a lot. So I love having lots of books on my shelves. So that doesn't make me hate you at all. I just am not really able to count them all because A, I'm lazy, and B, there's a lot. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye.